After that, I turned my head and started whining. The girl's brain seemed to be overloaded at this time. She didn't understand what was going on at all. She could only say thank you to me in confusion and asked me not to cry. I turned around and said righteously, I, as an adult, will not hold grudges against you. I won't hold it against you. Later, I'll take you down the mountain to escape. Master catches people. I let them go. I'll help the master fight. I'm just being rebellious. Of course, these were not my intentions, but a task that the system forced me to complete. At this time, was trembling and kneeling in front of several masters. The soaring, murderous aura was almost condensed into a solid. Hong Minyak asked me with a sinister face, why did I let those old men go? And was about to punish me. Fortunately, Grandpa Dupuza was there to mediate. However, he also said that there was a problem with my actions. My heart is so kind, but my martial spirit is the lowest level 0, which would cause big problems when I go down the mountain. Hearing this, I suddenly remembered the upgrade materials required by the system before had been collected. So I immediately asked the system if I could upgrade. After getting a positive answer, I grinned and said, don't worry, masters. My martial spirit is no longer level 0. And I also upgraded to the 3-star 5-finger realm. The masters were first shocked, and then excitedly gathered around to check my status. Knowing that all this was true, they were very excited. And I was proud of myself for being able to shift the topic so cleverly. I suddenly saw the fake smile of Hong Menyang behind me. He continued to ask, so, why did you let those people go? And the other masters came to their senses. Yeah. Why did you let them go? In the end, I was still locked in the woodshed. And let me hang the sign of a dutiful son, reflecting on my mistakes for 2.5 years. At this moment, the system suddenly appeared again, telling me that this is all a necessary step to become Long Ocean. But Cigar still has some skills outside the mountain. You should be careful when you go down the mountain. But I was fearless, because I know my masters are not such kind people. Meanwhile, several old men of Cigar looked gloomy. The head of the family sighed deeply. It seems that all 3 of us have been planted with Shi Xin Zhuang. Our lives are completely in the hands of that person. In my opinion, the person who attacked us is probably a 5 emperors. We are not wronged. As soon as he said this, the younger brothers cried out in unison. You know that in the Shenju continent, there hasn't been a 5 emperors for hundreds of years. When did the 5 emperors of Daluo Mountain appear? At this time, the old man frowned. He said uncertainly, the person who attacked us seems to be the person who judged the heavenly secret pavilion. Before he finished speaking, was directly interrupted by the master. He sternly warned everyone to keep this matter to themselves. He would discuss with the emperor later. Then he turned to Yan Ren. He said there was a young man who just awakened his spirit. Let's use him as a starting point. Keep an eye on the surroundings of Daoshen. On this 1,000-mile frozen mountain, there is a waterfall that never freezes. And then turn to Yan Ren. There is a me who is meditating. Since my masters learned that, my martial spirit can be upgraded. They directly started a hellish training for me. Because they have been sealed on this Dalo mountain for years, their power has started to weaken. And I became the only one to unlock the seal. But under the high-intensity training, my strength has also been improving rapidly. I'm just one step away from reaching the samurai realm. Today, I was frozen as usual, shivering with cold. As soon as I entered, I found that several masters were waiting for me. Grandpa Lu saw me coming back and said, "We have discussed it. You can go down the mountain tonight. Hearing this, I was stunned because I had been told that I should go down the mountain after reaching the samurai level. But they said that the master leads the way and the rest is up to you. Then they kicked me out of the door and told me to go back and pack my things. The Daluo mountain where I am is full of monsters. Once the masters leave the inn, their strength would be greatly weakened. So they couldn't escort me out of the mountain. Several masters could only draw a teleportation array to send me down. Before leaving, Grandpa Du was still talking endlessly. To break the seal, I must find 6 wind-breaking stones. One of them is collected by the Galen royal family. So this time, I'll teleport you to Galen first. The clues of the other 5 and gifts from the masters are in this ring. Besides, our Dalo mountain is notorious. You must be careful when you go out. Don't let others know you're from here. He was about to cry as he was talking. Seeing this scene, Grandpa quickly interrupted him and then told me the burden of breaking the wind lies on me. Hearing this, I patted my chest and said, "Don't worry, Grandpa. I'll handle it." Then he waved to the masters and then walked into the teleportation array and disappeared into the room with a golden light. After I was teleported away, Grandpa Tianji spat out a mouthful of blood. The others hurried over to ask. Fortunately, Grandfather Tianji said it was just too much energy for the teleportation array, and in recent years, due to the seal, and his power is getting lower, the forced teleportation directly dropped the 5 Emperors' mirror. But it seemed that Grandpa Tianji was not sad. He laughed heartily because the others had already fallen out. He was actually the last one. And at this moment, I was a little confused. Where the hell is this? In my previous life, I was a 30-year-old virgin. I only had computers to keep me company. After crossing over, I farmed for 18 years. My heart has long been calm. Even when I met a facial cleanser, I was still calm. But at this moment, I couldn't hold myself. Sure enough, I was still too young. What the hell is this place? At this time, the system popped up unexpectedly, asking me to take all women into my harem, which made me curse. I'm not a casual person. Then I picked up my luggage and started running. Who would have thought that these soul dancers would chase after me? Fortunately, I hid in a house in advance. And at this time, the system started mocking me again. But there's no way. Who can resist this scene? At this moment, I realized, where is this place? It turned out to be a brothel in the Jialeng Imperial City. Just as I was about to leave, I suddenly heard a familiar voice. So I immediately opened the golden bronze statue. I looked over. I found that the old man inside looked familiar. I took a closer look. Isn't this the old man? The old man who hanged himself in the southeast branch? The system reminded me that Yanran called him Tolao at that time. A subordinate was reporting that, saying there was a fox spirit in the brothel. But she is good at disguising herself, and it's hard to tell. So he asked Daoluo for help. Tala said that Yang Hu was cunning, and everyone should kill her, and he would definitely help them. I immediately remembered. The Yang Hu race is a wise race in the west of the continent, often clashed with humans. They were wiped out 500 years ago. Unexpectedly, as soon as they went down the mountain, I met one. But one of the masters, Hong Yi, is also a fox. I only knew that when he got drunk and showed his true form. I just knew. Although I have lived with several masters for 18 years, they rarely talk about their past. So I don't know their respective origins. Suddenly, a few knocks on the door pulled my attention back. A group of young people came to the door. The one walking in front was the green-haired man I met before, and the smoker I secretly let go. I was scared and immediately put on a mask. I couldn't let them find out that I had come down the mountain. At this time, Talao said, he had sealed off the entire brothel. Unless someone's realm is higher than his, otherwise it is impossible to escape. Suddenly, Talao's eyes were bleeding. I saw a sword key-slashed towards the side. A huge energy flashed past my body, leaving only me standing and eavesdropping. Damn it. I was discovered. Is this old thing a dog? I was being chased in the brothel. Just because I overheard a few people's conversation. I was slashed out by a rough old man. The old lady was crying and shouting, "Stop it. Stop it. Stop fighting." Other guests also came out to watch the excitement. Talao shouted while chasing, "Run! What is a man? And fight for 300 rounds. I snorted and said, "Nonsense. I planned to use the skill rewarded by the system." Bluff. However, the system reminded me that I used it when fighting the python last time. The remaining cooldown time is 10 years. I cursed and ignored him. The system quickly pinched the spell and then disappeared in place with a Lingbo Webu. Talao was a little stunned when he saw this scene. I looked back at him. I was about to mock him, but I didn't expect the old man to catch up instantly. He said that in the face of absolute strength are all trivial. Then he kicked me with a powerful shot in the air and kicked me down from the air. Fortunately, someone else was there. I quickly sat up, ready to continue running for my life. I suddenly found the touch in my hand was strange. I looked back. It was a little Red Riding Hood with a tail. And the green-haired man shouted that this was the fox. The goose fox, realizing he was exposed, started to run. Kang Lao immediately chased after it and ordered Yan Ren to chase me. While I was running, I muttered to myself, "Haven't you already found the crane fox? Why are you still chasing me?" At this time, the system popped up again, telling me that I have received an upgrade task. I need to collect the upgrade item, Fox's Blood. Damn it, why didn't you tell me earlier? Just now, there was such a good opportunity to escape. I had to take out the smoke bomb in my arms and smashed it hard on the ground, and a lot of smoke burst out, and then took the opportunity to hide in a room. I took out the alien pill from my pocket and took a bite. Hong Yi said that after taking this pill, I would soon become an old man. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. I hurriedly took off my original clothes. But at this moment, Yanran kicked the door open. She shouted, "Don't hide inside and don't make a sound. I know you're at home." But before she finished speaking, he stood there in a daze, because in this room, there was only a woman lying half reclined. Damn it. 10 seconds ago, I was still a man. But I took the wrong pill and turned into a girl. Yan Ran, who was chasing me, was also stunned and asked me awkwardly, "Did you see a man in blue just now?" "He chased here." He suddenly felt his breath disappear. I just said no. Damn it. Why my voice didn't change. Fortunately, Yanran didn't suspect anything and turned around to leave. But I was extremely anxious. If he leaves, how can I complete the task to obtain the blood of the Yan Lake? In a hurry, I immediately grabbed his hand and then asked in a high-pitched voice, "Are you Sister Yanran from Shenyu Academy?" He was surprised and was surprised that I knew him. Then I immediately hugged him, crying with snot and tears. "I'm also a student of Shenyu Academy. But when I went home to visit my family, I was kidnapped to a horrible place, and my voice was silenced. Please take me out. I cried and begged. I almost believed it myself. Yinran was also shocked. She bent down to comfort me. She said that since I was a disciple of Shanyu Academy, she would not stand idly by. Suddenly, there was a fight outside. It turned out that the urinal had been trapped and couldn't stand up. Then he ordered others to tie up the urinal and directly sent to destroy the crime. And Yanren also came over with me at this time. She kept praising me for being so smart, and then said with a disappointed face, she didn't catch the person who was eavesdropping.